Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' new release books. So recently, I should have had a video go up that was essentially doing a check-in on my 2020 anticipated fantasy releases video, the books that I talked about in that video, and seeing if I read any of them. I didn't read that many, but also some did get pushed back to 2021 and will be on this list. Some I simply lost interest in and no longer cared. Today we are doing the adult SFF books that I am pretty jazzed about for 2021. This is not an all-inclusive, comprehensive list. I'm sure I will add more to this as I learn about new books coming out. I got some of these just from, they're continuations of books by authors that I've heard of, or just hearing other people talk about them, following different authors on Twitter. A few of them I did find from the same article, blog, whatever it was, list that Elliot Brooks had, so I will have that linked down below. And do I have this organized by publication date? Yes. So let's start with the books that don't have a publication date, at least on Goodreads. The first one definitely doesn't have one because nobody knows if it will actually come out in 2021, but I put it on this list because I saw an article the other day on my phone. It popped up on the homepage on Google saying that apparently the author has said that we are likely to expect this book to come out this year. Whether or not that happens, we will fucking see. But that is Winds of Winter by George R. R. Martin. It's book number 6, and there's now going to be another book. I'm not super in a yank for these books to be finished because I actually have not completed the series that is already published. I read the first 2 books. I'm very familiar with the TV show, but I know it's not entirely the same. Certainly not the last 2 seasons, whatever. So I do want to read it, but I'm kind of just putting it off because who knows when it's going to be done, right? So fingers crossed, but I'm not going to bet my life on it that it comes out. This one says it doesn't have a publication date. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Maybe it is. It has a cover already and everything, but that is Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, book number 3 of the Greenbone saga. And I'm so fucking hyped for this shit. After Jade War, I need to reread both of those. And after Jade War, I'm fucking itching to get my hands on Jade Legacy. It's urban fantasy, and I mean, you know what it's about, right? Everybody knows what Jade City's about. It's urban fantasy set in an East Asian inspired world where some people can wield jade, and it's a powerful magic that they get. They get like superhuman strength and speed and stuff, and they have to train to use it. It can be detrimental. There's lots of politics. It's kind of like a mafia-esque, gangs, clans going against each other, etc. I completely thought that this next book was a graphic novel. Pretty sure it's not. But that is Persephone Station by Stina Leicht. I don't know if I'm gonna love this one based on the premise, but I'm intrigued. The little blurb says, Hugo Award nominated author Stina Leicht has created a take on space opera for fans of The Mandalorian and Cowboy Bebop in this high-stakes adventure. I've never seen The Mandalorian, and I don't know what Cowboy Bebop is. And space opera, just sci-fi, space opera, not exactly my jam. And it is listed as being queer and space opera, sci-fi. So I don't know, I might not love this one, but I'm intrigued. Then in February, that one was January 5th. And then in February 2nd, Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. This one I think is also sci-fi, LGBT, romance, fantasy. It says, when tragedy befalls Imperial Prince Tom, his Thean widower Jainan is rushed into an arranged marriage with Tom's cousin, the disreputable Kian, in a bid to keep the rising hostilities between the two worlds under control. So there's these 2 planets. But when it comes to light that Prince Tam's death may not have been an accident, and that Jainan himself may be suspect, the unlikely pair must overcome their misgivings and learn to trust one another as they navigate the perils of the Iskat court, try to solve a murder, and prevent an interplanetary war, all while dealing with their growing feelings for each other. Sounds fun. But again, sci-fi. I don't know. This next one I have an e-arc for, and I'm pretty jazzed. It's a novella called Fireheart Tiger by Aliette de Bodard. This one is a romantic fantasy novella, LGBT, and apparently it reads like The Goblin Emperor meets Howl's Moving Castle in a pre-colonial Vietnamese-esque world. Have not read The Goblin Emperor nor Howl's Moving Castle. These comparisons are just failing me today. We have a princess who was sent away as a hostage to a powerful faraway country as a child, but now she is returned to her mother's imperial court. There was apparently a fire and there are magical echoes from this fire. She is now a diplomat and she is once again in the path of her first love, the powerful and magnetic Eldris of Efteria, who knows exactly what she wants. Romance from Than and much more from Than's home. And that one comes out February 9th. The next one comes out February 16th. That is The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. The start of a new series. Apparently it's an epic, high fantasy, dragons and pirates involved. War dragons with crowd-pleasing battle scenes. We will see if I'll be part of that crowd. So it sounds like we have some different people who have been at odds with each other for a long time, and it says some clans people of this other place, Ewernia, show up, and saddling their war dragons, the Nereidans rush to defend their home, only to discover that the clans people have not come to pillage at all. They have been driven from their home by a demonic despot who prophesizes the end of the world, so they're looking for a new home. Interesting. This one I've had on my list for a hot minute. Comes out in March 9th, by Sarah Beth Durst, whom I enjoy. This one is called The Bone Maker, and I believe it is a standalone. Yep, epic fantasy in a brand new world of towering mountains and sparkling cities, in which a band of aging warriors have a second chance to defeat dark magic and avenge a haunting loss. Sign me the fuck up. This one comes out March 23rd, The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This one I believe is queer as well. Turaine is a soldier stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire. Her only loyalty is to her fellow conscripts. But now her company has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Luca needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and orders. Someone who can sway the rebels toward peace, while Luca focuses on what really matters, getting her uncle off her throne. Through assassinations and massacres in bedrooms and war rooms, Turaine and Luca will haggle over the price of a nation. But some things aren't for sale. Hell yes. This next one I'm excited for, even though I need to finish the first series that I'm reading from this author. The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. It's the start of a new series by John Gwynne, and it sounds like some similar stuff, which I'm happy with because I like the elements of the story in the Faithful and the Fallen series. The old gods are dead, but their power remains. Right there, we're on a similar path. After the gods warred and drove themselves to extinction, the cataclysm of their fall shattered the land of Vigrid. And now a new world is rising from the ashes. There's monsters stalking the woods, etc. There's whispers of war echo over the plains. Seems like there's three main characters. Says all three will shape the fate of the world as it once more teeters on the edge of chaos. And then, very excited for this, I talked about this book recently because I read a different book by the author. The first full novel I read from him, but I had read a short story that I quite enjoyed. Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okungbawa, the start of a series, and the blurb says, a young scholar's ambition threatens to reshape an empire determined to retain its might in this epic tale of violent conquest, buried histories, and forbidden magic. Fuck yes. Mythology, magic, Love it. Oh, and that one comes out May 11th. I didn't even say that. And I'm the worst. The previous one comes out May 4th. This next one also comes out May 11th, and we'll see about this one. I am intrigued. Blackwater Sister by Zen Cho. I read Sorcerer to the Crown, or Sorcerer of the Crown by Zen Cho. Didn't love it, but I loved elements of it. So the main character in particular, I can't remember her name now. It's like, really enjoyed her though. And this one has LGBT rep as well, apparently. Says, a reluctant medium discovers the ties that bind can unleash a dangerous power in this compelling Malaysian set contemporary fantasy. Very curious. This next one, oh God, my fingers are crossed that this is as good as it sounds. Comes out June 1st. The Chosen and the Beautiful. And this one is by Nhai Vo. And this is Great Gatsby retold, reimagined, with fucking magicians. And I believe the main character is Vietnamese. I think the author is at least Vietnamese. The main character is Asian, at any rate, it says. Immigrant, socialite, magician. Jordan Baker grows up in the most rarefied circles of 1920s American society. She has money, education, a killer golf handicap, and invitations to some of the most exclusive parties of the jazz age. She's also queer, Asian, adopted, and treated as an exotic attraction by her peers, while the most important doors remain closed to her. But the world is full of wonders, infernal pacts and dazzling illusions, lost ghosts and elemental mysteries. In all paper is fire, and Jordan can burn the cut paper heart out of a man. She just has to learn how. Hell fucking yes. Oh my God. I'm so excited for this. Then this next one comes out in June. It doesn't have a specific date, but I still need to, it's book 4 of a series. I still need to read book 3 that came out this fall. There's not a cover yet. Beautiful Nightmares by KJ Sutton. This is book 4 of the Fortuna Sworn series, which I've read book 1 and 2 on ebook. And then, again, a series where I need to finish a different series by this author before I get to this one. But this doesn't come out until August 3rd. Nolan, book number 1 in a new series by Michael J. Sullivan. And it's set in the same world as the Legends of the First Empire and the Rhaenyra books, those 2 series. I don't know what the timeline is. I need to figure that out. I haven't read too much about it. I just saw it on Goodreads and I was like, holy shit, what? Yeah, after 200 years of service, the heir to the Empire is suspicious about his reassignment to active duty on the front lines of the Goblin War. So I'm trying to remember, because the Legends of the First Empire is a prequel series to the Rhaenyra books. So it's set like hundreds of years prior. But I feel like I remember the Goblin War being mentioned. I just cannot for the life of me remember where it is in the timeline. If it's pre this series or if it's between this series and Rhaenyra, I don't know. And even though it's set in the same world, it does say that it's a standalone series that you can read without having read the other books, which is the case for Legends of the First Empire too. And then these last 2 might be my most anticipated. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about Jade Legacy would be also, but these last 2 I'm very excited for. This one I didn't know was a thing until someone mentioned it in a comment to me, and I was like, what? It is another adult contemporary fantasy by T.J. Klune, who wrote House in the Cerulean Sea, and this one is called Under the Whispering Door. And I literally don't care what it's about. I would be itching to get to it anyway. But it is a contemporary fantasy with T.J. Klune's signature quirk and charm about a ghost who refuses to cross over and the ferryman he falls in love with. Sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So excited. I won't read the whole thing, but then at the end it says, by turns heartwarming and heartbreaking, this absorbing tale of grief and hope is told with T.J. Klune's signature warmth, humor, and extraordinary empathy. Oh God, I can't wait. I can't wait. So that doesn't come out until fucking September 21st though. So I have to wait nearly a whole year. And then another one that I have to wait nearly a whole year for. And there's not even a title yet or a cover, but Crescent City #2 by Sarah J. Maas is supposed to be published in November, and a bitch is excited. I'm excited where this series is gonna go. For me, House of Earth and Blood was just so great because it had all the elements of her other books that I love, that I think she does so fucking well. The oh shit moments, the here comes the cavalry, the just all that, the, what is it, Deus Ex Machina shit that she is just like fucking so good at it, and I love it. The drama at the end, the final scene where you're just like so emotionally invested. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So there we go. Those are the books. I think there's like 17. Yeah, 17 adult books that I'm pretty jazzed about. This list may change, or 16 rather, 16 that I'm pretty jazzed about. And again, this list may change. I'm sure I will add stuff to it as I learn about new books as the year goes on. Leave an emoji down below if you want to announce your presence, but don't have any commentary. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.